This is a very passionate podcast. I'm Mario.
Super very passionate people. I'm very passionate.
Very, very passionate about it.
Very passionate people.
She's one of the most passionate people.
Or maybe you don't know shit and you want to learn from the best.
Very passionate.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the I Am Very Passionate podcast.
I'm Mario.
I'm Jessica.
And we're back.
And I'm going to top your phone. Get your phone. Get your phone. Get your phone. Okay. Got wine in one hand and my phone in the other. I have no extra limbs to spare.
Priorities.
Exactly. It's Monday.
It is Monday. We're recording on a different day just because of scheduling conflicts.
Mario had to work a shit ton of overtime.
I did.
And I had family in here from New Jersey and Hawaii.
Jersey.
So I couldn't do it yesterday.
Do they talk like that? Do they say
My
Jersey?
aunt does.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
My cousin is really, really funny, though, because my aunt is, like, New York and then moved to New Jersey, but my cousin's been in New Jersey her whole life, so she's really
she's a true Jersey girl?
Yeah.
Have you seen Jersey Girl?
I don't remember.
It's the one with Ben Affleck and
oh, no.
And George Carlin.
No.
And Jennifer
Is it a
Lopez.
romantic comedy?
No. Well, is it? I don't know. He's married to Jennifer Lopez and she dies.
Yeah.
And then he's raising his daughter in Jersey with his dad. And he calls him
Tyler's daughter.
Right, it is Liv Tyler. Okay, I forgot about her. She's very forgettable. She has a very pretty face, but she's like blander than like Flower.
Yeah, I find her very, I don't know. She's just not, I don't know. Anyway, we're back. We're
A dinosaur story.
We have lots of fun stuff to talk about. Let's jump right into our icebreakers.
All right, so do you want to start with number one? Because Jessica's the hero. Jessica's the hero. She saved the day.
All right, let's do a little catch up since you last saw me. Last weekend, I went to some outlet malls. Not this past weekend, but last weekend. It rained a little bit, and I got super sick and ignored it until about Wednesday. And then I couldn't get out of bed, and I couldn't go to work. And Friday, I finally went to the doctor, and I had to have a steroid shot and an antibiotic shot in my ass, which I have anxiety, and I've been sexually abused, so I don't like baring my ass to strange men who think it's okay to make jokes when it's not.
Did he make a joke?
He was like trying to, it was not like weird. He was trying to get me to relax. And I was like, there's nothing you can do to help me. Just shoot my ass and let's go. But then they have to massage it because it's so thick. And I had to get it in both butt cheeks.
Oh, wow.
It was really bad. But I had to be around my grandmother, who was 90 years old. She couldn't get what I had because I had bronchitis, pharyngitis. I had all of it.
That became pneumonia in her.
Right. So I couldn't be around any of my family until I got that done because I asked for an oral steroid, but he's like, it's not going to work in time. You need to get this now if you're going to be around someone who's elderly. So I did it, and I cried the whole time. And then I got Vietnamese food and came home.
Oh, from where?
From the place that we went to.
Viet?
Yeah.
You know who wants to go back there?
Who?
Tia.
Oh, yeah. Tia loved it.
She wants some pho.
And then this weekend, I had my whole New York family in my mom's house. I have to say I'm very proud of my mom because her anxiety did not get to her at all. She worked really hard to be like polite and kind and let people walk around her house. And I told her, I was holding hands with her by the end of it. I was like, I'm really proud of you.
Aw. So, you weren't a total bitch. No,
it's never me. I'm not the bitch.
No. You're saying that to her mom. You did a great job. Good job. You weren't a total bitch.
I was really proud of her because normally she has like 3 people in the house and she like shuts down. That's her like quiet place, but she's retired now. So maybe it feels different. I don't know, but I'm really proud of her. And I cried when I saw my uncle. I haven't seen him since before I had Danny. My cousin was here. We were estranged for like 15 years because his mom is not a nice person. So we didn't reconnect until we were adults, but we were like roll dogs every summer in New York. Like that was my homie. So it was really nice to see him.
That's nice.
And in between all of that, between dying and dealing with a bunch of loud Hispanics.
And getting your ass pounded.
And getting my ass pounded by the awkward guy at the clinic. I stopped a fire at our job.
She stopped a fucking forest fire. Smokey the Bear would be so proud.
I would like to tell this story, though, as I told it to Mario.
Oh, my God.
I walked out to the smoking area, and one of our coworkers was just sitting out there, and I thought to myself, because I'm short, okay, I'm 5'1", I couldn't see over the cars, but I saw a lot of smoke, and I was like, that's a lot of smokers out there today. What's going on? And then I rounded...
She smokes, y'all, if you didn't know.
You didn't know. I rounded the corner and saw that there was like a tiny little bonfire, like maybe the size of a small trash can. And I'm looking, there's one smoker, and it's one of our coworkers. And I'm looking at her, and I say her name, and she looks at me, and I go, "There's a fire," and it's maybe 5 feet from her face. Like, she can see it, okay? She casually, like, peeks up and goes, oh, look, that is a fire, and then relaxes back into her cigarette. So if you have anxiety and you don't trust your emotions, if you can understand, you know that sometimes you pause and you go, am I crazy? Like, is something wrong with me? Because no one responds the way you think they're going to respond. So then I go, girl, we got to tell somebody. And so she starts gathering up her stuff. Like, she's salty. She wants to smoke her cigarette, but like, this fire's
she wants the building to burn down.
Yes. But she was irritated. So I took off running to the front of our building. I run through the door. I'm a smoker and I hate cardio. And then the guy at the desk like held up his finger for me to not to talk because he was taking a call. And then I took 3 deep breaths because I almost threw up. And I go, there's a fire in the smoking area. And our other security guard like runs to get a fire extinguisher. And the guy is still staring at me, the one who was on the phone. He's not doing anything. Uh-huh. And then he goes, you have to call the fire department. And then they took off running. And by the time they got out there, it was huge. I took pictures because it was so big.
Wow.
But nobody responded appropriately to the fire.
I can't believe she was just sitting
She
there.
was mad. I was like, we have to do something. And she was like, oh, my God. She was so mad.
So are they allowed to smoke back there anymore?
Yeah, they're not going to enforce it because the only other thing they can do is make us drive off the property on our brakes, and legally
that's
they
not
can't
allowed.
do that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to adjust. So if you guys hear my bed squeaking, it's not Mario and I getting nasty. It's my back. I'm trying to adjust.
Whoa.
That's what my back sounds like right now.
But she's a hero. She did not get honored or a reward.
They didn't even mention me.
They really didn't. Well, they just said a quick acting agent.
And Mike knows my name.
He does. You should have really won something.
No, it's fine. I didn't want to make a big stink out of it because I like my smoking area. It's in the woods. It's pretty.
It's going to be really nice at the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it is fall technically.
But it was a big fire.
I found apple cider.
What?
You don't understand, girl. For the last 2.5 weeks...
Very important.
For the last 2.5 weeks, I've been going to like Walmart and Target looking for fucking apple cider.
Apple cider vinegar?
Apple cider.
Like drink it?
Yes.
Ugh.
It's my favorite autumn drink.
I hate it.
And I went to Bath and Body Works. I got my leaves smelling like candle.
Oh, I do like leaves.
Leaves is my favorite candle. And like they changed it this year so it's not as strong. Because the last year's leaves was too strong.
Oh, no, I loved it.
It smells like Kirkland's and it gives me a headache.
I love it.
The new one is much less strong and I love it. And so I got that. I was ready to watch Halloween Town. I was like, okay, I'm going to go get the candle because I've been thinking about this candle.
You were going to watch Halloween Town.
Because that's my tradition. I watch Halloween Town for Halloween. I have all 3 movies on DVD. Well, the 4th one, people don't really count, but I'll watch it eventually. I enjoyed it. It was interesting. If it had the original girl, it would have been perfect. But anyway...
And before we get into the rest of our icebreakers, I just want to state that a dream came true for me last night. I was catching up on social media. And we were backlogged. I've been really busy and I got to give some places. So I was catching up yesterday, still like trying to recuperate. And I posted our videos from the drag night, and it was really awesome because Mariah Taylor, who you guys know is like my favorite drag queen from that show, reached out to me and was like, can I share your podcast? Like, this is amazing. I can't believe you guys talked about us. And I was like, I can't believe you're talking to me. Like, it was so weird. And then in the podcast, I did my research and I was like, I named Luis, and he messaged me this morning and was like, I almost gagged when I heard my name. And I was like, you guys deserve, like, what you're doing is amazing. It's a nonprofit drag show. Mm-hmm. Like, why shouldn't you be mentioned? And they're so grateful for like a tiny podcast to say something. And I'm so grateful that like, they even care. Right. It was really...
He messaged me personally, too. Like, oh my
he's
God.
Such a cutie
He's so
pie.
nice.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
I think I do now.
The podcast does.
Yes.
He's so fierce. They had a Halloween costume drag show this past Friday, and he did like a cute version of it. Oh. And he's so beautiful. Oh my God, I can't even talk about it. Anyway, that was my little happy moment for the week. Like, I was screaming and
she texted me like, oh my God, sending screenshots.
I was sending screenshots because they want to come on the podcast after a show one day the next time she comes in town. Mm-hmm. They were like, if you don't mind. And I was like, no, I mean, sure, Mario's fine with it. Yeah. And if he's not, I'm dumping his ass because we're doing this. And so it was a nice moment. It feels good to be connected to a community that like I'm prideful for, and to big deal to me to have that in Columbus.
No, yeah, definitely. It's really exciting. Like,
it's really cool.
And then I was thinking, like, what if one day she, like, gets on Drag Race? And there's like, oh, well, we interviewed her first.
Mario was dying. Mariah Taylor could go on Drag Race.
She could. She totally could.
Her hair is so fucking amazing.
Hopefully one day. If that's what she wants. Not all drag queens.
I don't know that that's her goal.
Not all drag queens want that. She's super social media savvy, so I could see it being, like, that's a very great way to network. Like, when we met her, she's like, okay, can you do me a favor? Like, pull out your phone, add me on Facebook. I was like, okay, she knows what she's doing. She is networking.
Sweetest thing ever,
super kind.
Yeah.
Amazing performer. Like,
and they all were. They were all good. They were all so nice. Everyone took pictures. I know I can't talk about drag queens all the time. Well, I can't with Marnie. But it was really cool for, like, our little town and her town and what they're doing to get, like, brought together on a random night that we were just trying to get everyone out of a nasty funk.
Exactly.
It's really cool. I love stuff like that from the universe.
I had a great time, and I'm really excited.
Look at your smile. This is one of my favorite memories. All right, let's get into it.
All right, so...
Pum, pum, pum.
Oh, God.
Pick your favorite one and go. I'll follow with you.
Okay, so I have a quick recommendation. And if you have a Tumblr, you've seen an advertisement for this fucking show constantly for the last, like, 2 months. And it's, like, it looks like this Aubrey Plaza-looking girl, and she's, like, rotoscoped, and you don't know what the fuck it's about. And she's like, is this real life? And I was really annoyed by it constantly. And then I finally broke down and watched it, and it was fucking amazing. It's called Undone. So it's about this girl who gets in a car accident and wakes up and is seeing the ghost of her dead father, who is telling her she is a shaman and has the ability to manipulate time. And he's trying to convince her to go back in time and save his life because he died when she was, like, 10. But, like, she's like mestizo. Like, she's what I am. Like Native American, Mexican, Spaniard.
Oh,
and I've never seen
it. Goes into that.
Well, yeah, no, that's part of the culture. Like, it's part of, like, her mom is super overbearing, like Latina mama.
Yeah.
But, like, I've never seen a TV show where somebody is the same, like, exact same ethnicity as me. And it's really fucking cool. And they talk about culture a little bit. And, like, she even, like, dabbles and, like, talks with somebody who is truly, like, part of the Native community and everything. Like, I don't know, it's just really cool and interesting, and it's beautifully animated, and I definitely recommend it. And it's a very fast watch. There's only 8 episodes, and the episodes are like 22 minutes.
And I will say this, Mari's recommended a lot of things to me, and regardless of romantic comedies, most of them I do like. So I have recommendations. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I know I mentioned The Clearing last time, but it's such a good podcast. It's about Ed Edwards and his daughter trying to figure out if he really is a Zodiac killer and if there's any more murders based on, like, where they live, because they traveled a lot. It's a really, really good podcast. You're listening to it, right?
I'm on episode 3. I'm really enjoying it so far. Okay, you kind of framed it to where she was mad about My Favorite Murder, and I was kind of like, oh no.
No, it was just a clip that they put in there.
Right. But, like, I was like,
I can tell she didn't like it.
Yeah, but she wasn't like, oh, I fucking hate them for doing this. And I was like, oh my God, not Georgia and Karen.
No.
But it was fine. Like, she just mentioned it, and she's like, yeah, people, like, I know he didn't do anything with kids. I know he did.
Like, bullshit. And then also I've been listening to The Happy Face Killer, which is a really, really good one as well. All my recommendations are going to be true crime.
Okay. I've been listening to Race Chaser Pod, which is Alaska Thunderfuck 5000. She won All Stars 2 of Drag Race. And then Willem Belli, who was disqualified from season 4 of Drag Race, but it's, like, one of the most well-known ones. Like, Willem has... Do you remember Boy is the Bottom or Chow Down at Chick-fil-A? Like, those parody... That's Willem. One of the most successful...
Drinking wine, sorry.
One of the most successful drag queens from Drag Race in terms of internet fame. And they have a podcast, and they just review episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race. And then they have a side podcast called Hot Goss, which is where they just talk about politics and news and stuff. It's really good. I highly recommend it. That's where... So today I was quoting them saying, what was it? Tivana...
is that what you were saying to me?
Tivana St. James.
Draggy name. And I was like, what is this guy talking about?
Because it's like, it's hot. Like, because they say, like, scaldration. It's like scalding hot tea.
And I didn't get it because I'm not a pop culture queen.
But it's like Tivana St. James, like Van Cartier Dupree, Deluxington O'Hara or whatever. Like, it's just the most over-the-top name. They do just random shit like that, but I really enjoy it. And then they actually recently brought up this whole article, or is it Title 7 thing that's happening? It's a Title Article 7 of the Civil Rights Act. Did you hear about that?
Article 7.
Did you hear about it?
I haven't heard about it.
So
I've been in this bed.
The Trump...
watching Sex and the City.
Oh, really?
I love Sex and the City.
I can never get into it.
Well, you're not a girl getting laid, having multiple orgasms all the time.
I guess.
You have to deal with abortions and fuck with
Not
boyfriend.
often. No.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Do you have a lazy ovary?
No, I don't, luckily.
Do you have both of your balls?
I do.
then you're not really into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know there's a lot of gay guys who like it. Just I've never really been able to.
I don't imagine that gay guys do like it. Is
It's
that like
very
a thing?
big in the gay community.
Oh, I'm straight.
And it might be like an
not
older
straight,
gay thing. Like
maybe
I might be too young for it. I don't know. I don't because it was on when I was a young child.
Daniel used to watch it. Daniel loved it.
Your husband, Daniel?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, my son. I let him watch it.
Girl, I don't know. You're a very
I am an open parent.
parent.
No, my son's not interested.
He's totally a Carrie. No.
I'm a Carrie. No. I'm a mix between Miranda and Samantha.
I know none of them. I know Samantha, and Samantha hates them all in real life.
Yeah.
But anyway, what were we talking about?
No, we're going back. So those are our recommendations. Sorry, guys, we got on a tangent.
Oh, please.
But, so we're going to try and link most of the stuff on pages. I'm going to try and revamp our website a little bit. So if you are interested in the podcast we talked about or shows, I'll try to have links up. They'll always be in the bios of our social medias. But you were talking about Article 7, honey.
Oh, right. So essentially, Trump is going to the Supreme Court, or Trump's people are going to the Supreme Court to try and make it legal to fire people for being gay and trans, because Article 7 of the Civil Rights Act specifies you cannot discriminate against somebody for age, whatever, like age, gender.
Age, race, gender.
Age, race, and sex. That's specifically what they say. And for the longest time, they've accepted that gender identity and expression and sexuality are under sex. And they're trying to argue that no, it is not. It's specifically about gender.
It's not going to work.
And I don't know. I hope not.
It's not going to work.
They have a majority Republican.
It's going to get overturned, though. They're going to deem it unconstitutional at some point. Even if it goes into effect, it's going to go into effect for a little while.
But it's still going to affect all of us who are queer or queer presenting or nonconformist, because it's also...
But if your company is okay with it, then...
If your company is. But I don't...
Our company is.
Right now.
Our company is.
Let's hope.
I have positive thoughts about this. I really do.
But even me alone, it's more than just me.
No,
it's more than just us. It's about the entire community.
Agreed.
And a lot of people do not work for companies that are cool with it.
It's very true. No,
and especially in more rural places. Like, this is literally the difference between people having a job and being homeless in some instances. Like, if they find out, and even then, they don't have, like, it could even just be a very effeminate man who they could be straight, they could not be gay, but if they think they're gay, they could still fire them for it because, we thought he was gay, and we don't want that representing our country, our company.
If that happens, someone is going to turn around and get an attorney, because, like, you have to have, like, grounds for work. It's somehow it's going to come back, whether it's a mass class action lawsuit against one company. Like, it doesn't matter if the Supreme Court ruled it. That's why people go back.
I thought once it goes to the highest court, it's final.
Mm-mm. It's not final. You can appeal stuff at the Supreme Court. It used to be gay marriage was illegal at one point, and then that was overturned like 4 years ago. So no, it just because it goes there.
Well, hopefully it doesn't go there.
I pray that it doesn't, and I'm not a prayer. I'll light a candle.
Really quickly before we go further, my friend Jasmine specifically wants your input on Lacey Peterson.
I'm so fucking into it. Jasmine, if you are listening, I have read 2 books on this motherfucker. I listened to podcasts about it. I don't know if you listened.
She's not calling Lacey Peterson a motherfucker.
No, I'm calling Scott Peterson. And I am on the fence about whether or not he did it.
I know.
And because, what's the podcast I was listening to? Crime Junkie. She did a really good in-depth talk about Scott Peterson. And, like, I was convinced he did it until I listened to the evidence she brought forth. So I'm here for you. Give me 2 weeks and we're going to do it, because I'm so excited to talk about it. Fucking love this. I love true crime.
I'm excited about it too, honestly. Like,
Jasmine,
I remember.
I'm here. I'm doing the eye thing to the phone. I'm with you, girl. I'm into it.
So
I busted a nut when Mario was like, my friend wants to talk about Lacey Peterson. I was like freaking out. I was like, yes! Because I don't know how much people want to hear about true crime. So if someone says it, we're going to do it.
Requests right now. We're a small podcast. If you want to hear something, let us know.
Oh my God, by all
means.
means.
Let us know, and we'll gladly.
My sister-in-law is begging us to dig into Michael B. Jordan. She wants to know why he's so controversial. So we have that coming up.
We did add that.
And then we are going to talk about Rachel Dolezal, because my sister-in-law does love her too. Like, we're mildly obsessed.
Obsessed?
I'm obsessed. I am transracial.
Oh, God.
That's amazing.
I cannot.
Let's have our Lizzo moment.
Okay, so this week's... did you know... I mean, I know I've seen this, but I keep forgetting to bring it up.
What?
We're called lesbians. That's her fan name. Her fans are lesbians.
I'm so turned on right now. I love being a lesbian. I'm definitely a lesbian.
So now for our weekly Lizzo moment. Jessica's faves are fighting. Well, not faves. Well, I mean, I guess they're faves.
I'm here for Iggy Azalea, but I don't like it. I don't like women against women. You know how I feel about that.
And she's the one who's taking it there, too.
Yeah.
So, if you don't know, Lizzo's song Truth Hurts is on track to potentially dethrone Fancy by Iggy Azalea and Charlie XCX.
I can argue both sides of this. I've thought about it. Go ahead.
And because that's the longest running female rap song on the Billboard Hot 100, and it was on there for 6 weeks. Right now it's on for 5.
I will say I don't think it should have been a white rapper first. I know that you're not supposed to say that, but there are better songs than Fancy. And Fancy, is that really rap? Because she's got Charlie XCX in there, and I love her too, but that made it more pop. I don't know. Like, I can argue both. I can argue every side of this.
Well, I really think at least... there will always be hardcore female rap, but I think pop culturally, it's going to be more pop rap. Even Cardi is doing more poppy things, and Cardi
I'm here for it. It's just, I don't know. Go ahead. Mario, finish. I'm done interrupting you.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
That's a lie.
So anyway, Lizzo commented about, like, you guys please stream, like, we want this to break the record.
She wants to break
rightfully
the record.
So, and she deserves to break the fucking record because Truth Hurts is a better ass song.
It is. It hurts me to say that, but it is.
And so, like, people were like, oh, well, like, don't be disrespectful. She's like, you know what, you're right. Like, she's friends with Charlie XCX, and she said
really likes her.
She loves Fancy, and she mentioned that Charlie XCX is a genius. She did not mention Iggy. Iggy is a very controversial person. Like, Iggy...
But also, did she just not mention Iggy because, like, she knows Charlie XCX and, like, that, you know, you boost your friends and not someone, maybe you haven't met her. Maybe you haven't talked to her. Mm-hmm. Maybe she doesn't support her and she's doing what Beyonce does and just doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
That's her right to do that. I feel like Iggy made it worse.
Yeah, so Iggy felt shaded because, like, Lizzo outright added Charlie XCX.
She did, but they're friends.
They are friends. And so Iggy was hurt and said, and tweeted, I could have sworn I was the one rapping on that song, but okay. And it was even like a subtweet. She didn't even at her. She just tweeted it. And was like, okay, quit subtweeting, bitch. Like, if you want to say it to her face, say it. And then she went on to promote the number 2 song on the Hot 100 right now, which is Senorita by Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello.
Fucking song. I can't even believe that's number 2. I hate that song so much.
I haven't heard it. I don't want to support that fake relationship.
I think they actually are dating, but the song is really bad.
I'm convinced he's gay. Convinced. There was an audio
until
leak.
He says that, I'm not going to think it.
There was audio of him, like, having phone sex with somebody that leaked allegedly, and it was very convincing.
People can fake that stuff.
They can, but I'm still convinced.
I don't know.
But anyway,
I'm not gonna. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, it's come out if you want. If not, whatever. Like, you do you, buddy. But
this day and age, I find it hard to believe that anyone's not coming out.
Well, when you're a male pop singer, having that sex appeal to teenage girls is very important. Like, that's what sells your records. It's the fantasy. It's the idea.
I don't know. I'm an idealist.
But I mean, oh yeah, yes. I mean, like, Troye Sivan is popular, and he's a gay pop singer, but he's not nearly as popular as what's his face, as Shawn Mendes, because...
Can I tell you what my issue is with Senorita? What was her first song, Havana?
I have no clue.
She's only had, like, really good hits when she plays on her Hispanic culture. Uh-huh. And I think this song's terrible. I'll play it for you later. I don't like it. I
haven't heard it. I'm not a fan of either of them, so...
I'll play it on my Spotify so you're not supporting them, but it's not a good song. I don't get it. It's nowhere near Truth Hurts. Let's say it was a good song. Nowhere near. How is that number 2?
Pop teenage girls?
I think Taylor Swift even deserves to be number 2 for some of her songs over this song.
Wow.
It's just catchy.
And
they have pretty voices together. No, Shawn Mendes and
Camila. Oh, okay.
And I don't get it. Whatever.
But anyway, the internet dragged Iggy Azalea, rightfully so. And so she's like, guys, I'm just playing. I'm trying to have fun. Whatever. You were salty. You felt slighted. You tried to do something about it and realized people don't care about you like they care about Lizzo.
What happened to the DMs? Why can't we just go, hey, man, saw your comment. Congratulations that you're coming up on my record. But, that tweet kind of was like, why can't we just say it to each other?
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a bit...
What would you rather do? Someone
I would have said nothing.
You? Okay.
I would have said nothing.
No, but I'm saying if that's not an option, like if you...
But it is an option. She just chose to
But let's say it was eating at her and she had to do something. Because sometimes when when something eats at you, you have your moment and you're like, okay, that's it. Boom.
I get that. But at the same time, this is a tweet. on somebody else's Twitter feed that you don't have to see.
Right, but then she turned around and tried to get the other song. She should have said something if it really hurt her like that, she should have said something to Lizzo.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that you're just a little bit jealous and salty that she's doing so well. And again, with all respect to Iggy, because I do love Iggy. I love her music. I'm a huge fan. But, like, there's room for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to go back and work on some stuff and be re-inspired. I'm just saying, I don't like when women are pitted against each other.
Well, she doesn't want to do rap.
No, she doesn't.
She only used rap to get famous, and now she's...
But everybody does shit like that.
I guess, but like...
They do. That's so common in the music industry.
It is, but you're also just... I don't know. I think it's... To appropriate black culture, to get... It's just like what Miley Cyrus did. She appropriated black culture to get farther, to make money, and then when it wasn't convenient anymore, she kicked it aside. And I just think it shouldn't be disposable. Like, this is a big part of their community. This is a big part of their identity. And I think it's disrespectful to just cast it aside like that. Like, if you're going to present yourself as this, be that. But whatever. I mean, people change. I get it. People change. But
then
how
there's
she
someone
was...
like Ariana Grande who would rather be doing that style of music, R&B, and then force her into the pop route. How about we just get managers and labels that support the true artistic intentions of the people they sign instead of trying to force them down what they think looks best?
No, and I agree. But not everybody's an artist. Some people are manufactured.
God is a Woman is a beautiful song, and she wrote that.
Mm-hmm. No, and I'm not saying that about her. I'm saying that about Iggy. Like, I don't think Iggy's an artist.
No, I don't think so
Iggy
either.
is a
She was
performer.
groomed by T.I.
Yeah.
T.I. groomed her.
But regardless...
Don't let a man tell you what to do. That's what happens. I'm just saying.
Don't come for Lizzo because the internet loves her.
Yeah, and don't come for each other because we all have vaginas. Metaphorical vaginas. I don't want anyone yelling at me. And Mari, I learned my lesson, but we all have metaphorical vaginas.
I wasn't yelling at you.
No,
I was just wanting us to be inclusive.
Keeps me politically correct, and that's good because I don't think about my words often. But metaphorical vaginas. Metaphorical vaginas, hooray.
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 Hooray. Now, moving on.
Mr. Bernie Sanders.
Bernie had a heart attack.
My poor Bernie.
Like, I was really shocked by the... I mean...
I'm not.
He's old, I get it, but... I just wasn't expecting this.
He always looks so, like, worked up and stressed. I was waiting for it. Or a stroke.
Yeah. Ooh, girl, don't put that into the universe.
I know.
I just knocked on wood, y'all. But he had a heart attack, and I just wonder if this is really going to affect his electability. Because he's almost 80, right? He's like 77?
The population is not going to vote for someone that we don't think can... finish 4 years.
Yeah.
That's just not our trend history.
I really think he needs to back down, support Elizabeth Warren and be a part of her campaign and maybe be her vice president or something.
I don't even know that he could be the vice president. I think if she puts
or part of her cabinet,
because if she puts him on the ticket.
Yeah, that's true. His people are shaken. Like, their confidence
and I
in
hope
him.
that he's okay. He's the big bright spot in my future. I
he
love Bernie Sanders.
has shaped American politics forever. Like, he was the catalyst to make things more open to socialism or democratic socialism. Mm-hmm. So I love that he's so involved with the environment. That's a big thing that nobody does. I really hope he has a speedy recovery, but I also think it's best if he were to pull out. There's other things he can do good. Exactly. He can still stay a senator. He's always going to have that seat as long as he lives. He is an amazing senator. So I want him in politics. I need him to slow down. Mm-hmm. It's very stressful. So we hope you get better, Mr. Bernie. Yeah. And our girl Liz, she sent his team dinner after it happened. Elizabeth Warren. She's such an amazed person. Well, they're friends. They're actual friends. No, I know, but she's an amazing person. Oh, she totally is. But I just love that she hasn't been shied away from saying that she's his friend, because he's kind of a pariah, not a pariah. He's very polarizing in the Democratic Party, he is. And so some people won't affiliate with him or associate with him, but she's very open and honest about their friendship and how much she respects him and how much she cares about him and hopes he has a speedy recovery. Role model. I love her. I really hope right now she's surging in the polls. I think in California she's number one. Then Biden. Why? And then because she has a plan. Speaking of a plan, I knew that she was going to do well with that campaign. It's smart. It's fucking smart. So smart. And I consistently every week see Elizabeth Warren has a plan about X. And it's very relevant.
She turned to her PR person and was like, you will not see my name unless has a plan is next to it.
It's fucking genius.
It's amazing. And she did small town. Mm-hmm. She was going out to the voter district small, and it has just catalyzed into this amazing campaign. And I couldn't be more proud of her or being a female in this time in the United States. Mm-hmm. She's incredible.
I really hope she's our next president. God.
I know, me too.
But
I'm trying not to think about it too much.
It's hard not to.
Because it's going to break my heart.
It will. Just like last time, I was devastated. And this time, I don't know if I can handle another devastation like that and get through it as easily. But regardless, Bernie, we hope you have a speedy recovery. We hope you make some good decisions.
Did you already go see Joker?
No, I'm not going to see that shit.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Okay.
I don't support DC movies. I'm a Marvel fanboy.
I watched them both. I don't give a shit.
I give a shit.
I'm not a comic book person anyway.
So
Mario is dying to talk about the Joker controversy.
Am I?
I want to see it. Yeah, you were like, we have to talk about it.
Well, I mean, it's happening. It's relevant, girl.
Yeah, and he has points A through H. So we're gonna listen.
Oh my god.
I want to see Joker. I actually almost went Saturday night, but then Kim and Emmanuel wanted to come over.
But I thought you don't pay full price for a movie.
I wasn't going to pay.
Oh. Bitch.
The person offered to pay for me. And then I was like, no, my ass still hurts from the shots. My ass still hurts today from the shots. Yeah, it's painful. Have you never gotten a shot in your ass?
Yeah. See, last time I got a shot in my ass, it was very embarrassing because she was like... What?
Why was it embarrassing? I mean, I know.
Well, I mean, I don't have an issue exposing my ass like that.
I have an issue showing my body parts unless I want to do it.
Like, I'm gay. It's part of the lifestyle. But...
I have sex on a nightly basis. It's part of my lifestyle, too. But, like, it should be because I want to feel free, not because, like, I don't know, it feels demoralizing.
Yeah, but I'm a man, so I have a free butt. And the lady was like, are you sure you want a Band-Aid? I was like...
I got 2 Band-Aids.
But you don't have a hairy ass.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I feel like I've seen your ass before.
Have you seen my ass?
No, I'm just kidding.
I believed it. I would be that friend that's like, well, look at my ass.
She got really drunk one time on seltzer, spiked seltzer. I've seen my friend
Lindy's nipples because I was really curious because I'd never seen like pink nipples before.
Did I tell you about the time I saw a vagina for the first time?
Did I tell you about the time I saw the vagina and I was super pissed because it was late at the club?
No.
And like somebody was screaming at me to dance more sexy because the old threesome couple they were beating us. She was wasted. And I was like, this bitch doesn't get out of my face. And then some girl trying to go home with some soldier dropped it low and like popped her legs open on the floor. Lights were on because they were shutting the club down. And I was begging my sister-in-law, I was like, please, can we leave? I don't want to be here anymore. And she showed her cookie.
Was it a nice one?
No. Mm-mm.
Did he go home with her?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude.
It was last call.
Love yourself.
Well, he loved himself that night for sure. But it was really, really, I don't know.
Hey, if it works. But the bend and snap, it works every time.
The bend and snap. She did not do the bend and snap. She did the
bend and spread.
Yeah, she did the bend and spread. She dropped it low, popped it open, and then popped it a few times. And I was like, we have to leave now. I was so mad. I was irritated.
No, the vagina story I have is one of my empath stories.
Your what?
One of my empath stories of a total stranger coming up to me.
And showing you their vagina?
She showed me her vagina.
What?
So, like, I was at a party, and, like, I had met this girl one other time.
You beat my Botox story. Out of all the empath stories.
This is, like, my ultimate empath story.
Oh, my God, I have to hear it now, and then we can talk about the Joker.
Okay, so she...
Someone deflowered their flower for Mario.
She didn't play with it. I mean...
No, I just...
Her fiance at the time was there, too. But anyway, girl, exactly. It's a story.
Oh, my God.
So one of my best friends, Robert, he used to have a Christmas party every year. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I met her last year at the Christmas party, but it was very, 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 very short amount of time because she only showed up for a little bit and then left.
Okay.
And so this time, like, I met her again, and I was like, oh, I'll show you where I put my bag. She needed a place to put her bag. She didn't know where to do it. And so we went to his room, and I showed her, like, where I hid my bag. And then she just started talking to me. And, like, I was open to it because she complimented my hair, and that's the way to get into my pants. Not really my pants, but get into my heart, and I'll listen. The horrors
of being an empath.
And
social situations are so fucking awkward.
This woman told me everything about her life, about how she was molested at a young age, about how she has herpes and it was because of this person, and how she like and then how her husband doesn't have that big of a penis, and
it's my daughter.
Oh,
she's getting a sneaky snack. Oh. She's hungry.
And how like it like there's like she's just not satisfied, and so like we try to talk through like maybe like you could do like some self-simulation while he watched and then finish together or something. Like I was trying to give her suggestions. Dildo. That's what I said.
A strap on. Men use them too, guys. Get on board.
I saw his dick later that night and it was very small.
So you seeing so many people?
I saw both of their genitals in the same night.
Were you a sex therapist?
I should be. So anyway, so like we're literally talking for an hour and a half. I'm like, I'm supposed to be fucking out here, getting drunk, having a good time. I was staying the night. Yes, I was ready to get, because I don't drink heavy if I'm gonna like.
Don't fuck with my buzz.
Well, exactly, but like unless I'm staying the night, I'm not gonna drink heavy because I have to drive. I understand. So I used to be, I wouldn't even drink a single thing, and now, anyway,
it doesn't matter.
Regardless. We kept going, and then she's like, yeah, and he's small, but then also, like, I have a mutant vagina. And I'm like, what do you mean?
A what?
A mutant vagina. And she's like, well, like, you know how girls have, like, labial folds that go vertically or whatever? Well, I have one that goes horizontally across. And I'm like, what? Because by this point, like, I was, like, in my early 20s, I didn't know anything about a vagina. I, like, gold star gay over here. And so I'm like, I don't know what you mean. She's like, you know what? You're gay. Come here. And so she grabs my hand, pulls me into my friend's bathroom, and drops trow and just spreads it. And she's like, okay, and you see? And I was just like...
So she had, like, a vertical
fold? Like, you know, like, they're like this.
Yes, I know what a
Well, she had one going across like this. And so it's harder to get penetrated because it's in the way. So you have to, like, move it. And so when you have a small dick, it's not going to... Like, your dick's not going to keep it out of the way because every time you pull out, it's going to cover it. And so they had to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh my God. And then, like...
Honey, see a doctor. I'm sure they can remove the fold.
Well, they're not together anymore.
It doesn't matter. Like, love yourself.
Yeah,
like,
true.
if you don't like it, get rid of it. I'm a big fan of, like, changing your body. Yeah, for real.
But anyway, later that night, like, he got really drunk and disappeared. We were playing Cards Against Humanity. So she and I went to go look for him. And he had passed out on the bed. And she's like, oh my God, he's asleep. Come here. And so she just whips it out.
She whipped out his dick? She's not a good person. That's so violating. I would be so mad if I passed out and Daniel was like, look at Jessica's big ass titties, and then pulled them out. I would feel so violated.
She did it.
Shame on you.
I hope she doesn't listen to this.
No, that's just... I hope someone in your life tells you that it's not okay to do those things. Mm-hmm. I understand that you felt comfortable talking to Mr. Mario here. I get it. He's basically a 6-foot therapist walking around. I understand. But don't expose other people's body parts. Let them do it.
But now that's the night I saw both their genitals.
Oh my God, Mario. Like, you got me beat. I thought my Botox story was the best.
My ultimate... Like, I've never had, like, that close... Or that...
I swear on our friendship right now, I will never show you my vagina.
Thank you. I really appreciate you.
Not a problem. Why would you want to see it?
I don't.
I showed my vagina one time to another girl because she found out that my clit was pierced, and she was like, oh my God, I have to see.
But that's a little bit different.
And I was like, we were in a public place, though, like at a park doing a survey for alligator snapping turtles.
So why did your clit come up?
I don't remember. Somebody asked about piercings, and I was like, oh, I have like 13. And she was like, wait, oh my God, is it pierced? And I was like, yeah, because I'm an open book. It's fine. Like, it's pierced. Doesn't mean I'm obligated to show you. And she was like, no, it's fine. I'll show you mine. And then she rips down her bathing suit and is just like, look, see? Now show me yours. And I was like...
This shit.
And it's a well-known family, too. In Columbus.
Girls, you and your messy tea. Oh, my God.
Well, when you're an empath...
People
just, it doesn't, when you're an empath, class doesn't matter. People of all backgrounds will come and tell you all their business.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But I'm sorry, back to the Joker controversy.
He just went on a whole vagina tangent. Vaginas, hooray, metaphorically.
A vagangent.
That's the name of the episode.
Is it?
Yeah, a vagangent.
Okay, let me write that down before I forget.
All right, let's talk about the Joker controversy. I want to see it.
Okay, I don't. But... regardless, vagangent. Anyway. Sorry, we're making ourselves laugh.
What was our last one? The previously pierced left nipple? These things are getting R-rated.
I guess so. I mean, we have an explicit rating on
we do? Thank God.
On Apple Podcasts.
13-year-old is like, what's a vagangent? Your mom's like, I don't know, honey. Listen to it. What's a mutant Gina?
Stop. So anyway,
that would be my kids.
This is a more serious topic.
It would be my kids. My kids know all the proper names: penis, vagina, breasts.
That's great.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
I hate it when like little boys are
pee-pee.
like, "Yeah,
it's not
a pee-pee. That is your penis." And when you're older, it's your dick.
Oh,
he'll grow to love it when he realizes.
I prefer dick. I don't like cock. I feel like cock is just so vulgar.
I like penis because it sounds funny, but in bed you should always say dick.
Yeah,
I agree. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Never say. I'm not even going to say the word. Never mind. Anyway. So Joker.
This is not happening today.
I'm so sorry. We have an hour, girl.
Oh shit, go.
So we want to be done by 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the Joker is out, and it's actually breaking records for being very, like, everybody's going to see it. But there's a lot of people who are afraid it's going to inspire violence because they make it a very sympathetic story towards the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And he kills somebody in cold blood on live television. And it's like people are afraid people are going to copy it because it's justifying it in a way, because in this movie it builds up to this part where I guess somebody gets killed and people feel like this will allow other people to justify it. So I don't know. So the people of Aurora, Colorado, family members of the victims of the Aurora shooting for The Dark Knight Rises were like trying to boycott the movie or rather bring awareness with gun violence and stuff.
There's also something about Batman.
Yeah.
There's just something about
Well,
Batman.
I mean, he's a vigilante. Batman is a vigilante. Like,
right, but it's those movies that inspire that kind of darkness.
And so...
I'm like, I get it. I understand. But I'm also, like, artistic creation, expression, all that is very important to me, too.
Totally.
And we should be raising people to know, like, right from wrong and what's acceptable and not acceptable. And if we had better gun control laws, you wouldn't be afraid at all. I'm just saying.
Right. And other people are saying, oh, this is ridiculous. It's not going to inspire anything.
But, I mean, like, people watch Black Mirror.
Yeah.
And it's huge weekends when it opens. And there's a lot of fucked up shit that happens in there, too.
No, totally. And it's the same way with the same argument with, like, video games. Video games don't cause violence.
And there's an episode on Black Mirror about video games and violence. So
I just think also people are being made to feel very uncomfortable by this movie. And so that's a visceral reaction. It could be, potentially.
I think it is the point. I think the movie is supposed to, like, subvert your expectations, give you a different point of view, put you in a spot where maybe you feel uncomfortable.
But, like, even, like, the U.S. military sent an email to all of the soldiers and everything to be mindful and keep an eye on things, essentially, because shit might happen, they fear. And also the LAPD and NYPD are increasing their presence around movie theaters while this film is out in theaters.
I mean, I respect that, though.
Because, I mean, they can't not do something, you know, especially in large populations like that.
People are going to see it, and I mean, I appreciate people taking it seriously and showing up. Because before it would have just been kind of like, oh, nothing's going to happen. Like when they had those purge nights all across the U.S., they had the purge night here.
Oh, my God. I'm not leaving the fucking house.
Well, there was a huge police presence out.
Yeah.
And there were people, like, climbing roofs and stuff, and they got arrested here in our town.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I was out of town that weekend.
I appreciate when people are, they take potential threats seriously. I'd rather you do that than act like nothing's going to happen and then something terrible happens.
It's just like the storming of Area 51.
That was hilarious.
People showed up.
People did show up.
8 people got arrested.
Shut the fuck down.
Yeah. It was embarrassing.
I would have just liked to stand out there, popcorn and wine, and be like, bitches.
Well, that's what a lot of people were doing. They were just watching.
Yeah, I want to see you get fucked.
And there was one Naruto runner, you know?
I don't know what that is.
That was part of the memes, girl. The people who run like Naruto characters where they run with their arms behind their back to be more aerodynamic.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I know what it is. I just didn't know they had a name. Why are we naming this ridiculous ass shit?
It's from the anime Naruto. That's how they run in the anime.
Again, not a pop culture queen. All right. So on the docket today, Mario and I are going to talk about our favorite subject, which is how dumb Trump is and the American population who voted for him. Mm-hmm. So we are going to talk about the Ukraine situation, but I thought it would be kind of fun to also bring up every other way that he should have been impeached. So we have a nice list about that.
Right.
And then after that, we're going to hopefully get some fun. We brought back our...
Advice column takeover.
Advice column takeovers.
Let's see.
I'll be giving the advice today.
I hope I found some good ones.
I'll be funny either way because I'm amazing.
So we'll be right back after this short break.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the music.
I'm going to talk about all the ways that Trump has fucked up while being in office and how he should have already been called to impeach. But for some reason, we're not doing it. And Mario is excited to cover the Ukraine situation. He is living for it.
I have. It's like Christopher and I just every morning.
I don't want to get excited. I don't want to get excited.
I know. I'm trying not to get my hopes up. But I think he's very much afraid of being impeached. So if it came to it, he would quit. I hope. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I put this note on here. I'm going to say it at the top of this segment. A lot of presidents have been impeached. It doesn't mean that you're out of office. Out of how many? I don't know the percentage. 40, it doesn't matter.
47.
Presidents can be impeached. It doesn't mean they're out of office. It just means that they've done something to be brought forth in trial.
Correct. But also, constitutionally, many people believe or interpret the Constitution that a president cannot have formal charges brought against them while they're in office. They essentially have diplomatic immunity.
But impeachment is the name of the trial.
Correct.
So,
but...
I mean, it is a step closer into possibly getting him out of office, but it's not. We're not crossing that finish line. And also,
I don't think we will.
I don't know. I've been wrong so many times about him. I just don't know.
I mean, it is very unpredictable. It's stressful.
It's very weird. So anyway, I'm going to talk. I've got 10 ways Trump has violated constitutional rights, obstructed justice, violated the Constitution. We're going to talk about those really quickly. I did get my information from needtoimpeach.com.
Oh.
You can go on there and sign a petition to have him impeached for any one of these offenses. They are constantly trying to make sure that it's a nonprofit organization, that Trump is being held accountable for all the crimes that he has committed as the leader of our country. I just feel like I need to say that. He represents all the people in the United States, but he doesn't effectively.
In the words of Colin Powell, did you see? Well, you don't read the news anymore. Well, not to be disparaging. She just doesn't have time at work like I do.
I can't do it at work, yeah.
But Colin Powell was berating the Republican Party, and he said the Constitution says, we the people, not me the president.
Yeah.
And that's fucking true, and he's very much me the president, him first, before anybody else. And it's very apparent.
And I would like to preface this quickly as well. I'm going to read these offenses. I would like for you to imagine, maybe if you are a Trump supporter and you're listening, I'm very shocked if you are. Hi, how are you? I'm Jessica. I hate Trump. Mario's definitely not a fan. I don't know. Email us your perspective. You can reach us at iamverypassionatepodcast@gmail.com. However, imagine that there's somebody else's name here and just tell me if you think that these things are okay.
If Barry did a third of one of these things, I think he'd be out so fast.
If Elizabeth Warren does one of these things, they're going to impeach her.
Or try to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to get into it, guys. Number one on my list is obstruction of justice. So Trump attempted to get James Comey. He was the FBI director. He was responsible for seeing the investigation into Trump's relationship with China during the 2016 election. He tried to get Comey to drop the investigation against the National Security Advisor, Michael Flynn.
Who was also his campaign manager at one point. That's weird. There's a lot of conflicting interests there. When Comey refused, he basically had him fired. And then he also tried to do the same thing to Robert Mueller. He's interfering with federal investigations. And the thing is if you have nothing to hide, let them investigate you. Exactly.
So you're obstructing justice there because even though you're the president, you don't have the right to decide what investigations are done or not done. You're held responsible too. You're not a king, you're a president. Mario has brought this up on other podcasts, and I didn't even realize it till you brought it to my attention, but profiting from the presidency.
Yes.
So the Constitution's foreign
emoluments.
Thank you. Emoluments clause prohibits the president from accepting personal benefits from any foreign government or official Trump has retained ownership interests in his family businesses while he's been in office, so he's technically making money from that too.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that. It's a conflict of interest. So Mario did say this. I'm just going to repeat it for the sake of this segment. Every time a foreign official stays at a Trump hotel or any other government approves Trump organization, a project, or grants like a trademark, Trump is violating the Constitution. Mm-hmm. After he was sworn into office, the Chinese government gave preliminary approval to 38 trademarks with Trump's name. And then that June, China approved the 9 Donald Trump trademarks that they had previously rejected, obviously because he'd come into power.
Yeah.
So that's not okay. Like, you're clearly using your power for your personal benefit. I get it. Like, you can't stop your businesses, but you need to assign full control over to someone else. And then you have your family working in your cabinet.
Yes, that's another huge conflict of interest.
It's a huge, like,
it's nepotism.
It's just not... is not responsible.
It's not. Also, he stays at Mar-a-Lago a lot.
We talked about this one too.
And every time he's there, he has to have the Secret Service there. Mm-hmm. And he charges the Secret Service to stay at Mar-a-Lago.
Where so it should be deducted from his salary.
Yeah. So he actually caused... So they have an annual budget every year. They had to reconvene Congress just to pass a budget for the Secret Service because they ran out of money. At one point, I think it was his first year of presidency, because he's fucking charging them to do shit.
Was it his first or second year? I think it was his second year.
It might have been.
I think his first year he was really cautious. Mm-hmm. The second year he was like, fuck it. So for example, every time he goes golfing, let's say he goes to a Trump property to go golfing, basically what he's doing is taking our taxpayer money that pays his salary right back into his very own business, and then he has to pay for all of his staff to be there too. Mm-hmm. So he's profiting from his own presidency. And like, while I get it as a businessman, that's shrewd as fuck, but when you are the leader of our country,
and this is taxpayer dollars,
right,
paying yourself.
I'm not saying he's not a shrewd businessman. I'm not saying that. I'm saying as the leader of our country, it's
but he's not a very.
It's immoral.
He's very unscrupulous.
He's got a shit ton of money, and he made his way to the presidency. He did something right.
He hired the right person.
Yeah. Let's talk about collusion. Trump's son was invited to meet with a Russian national regarding information that would, quote unquote, incriminate Hillary. The Russian national's name was Natalia Veselnitskaya. I think that's how you say it. She has ties to high-ranking Kremlin officials. This is official. This is not like, what is it? Conjecture, thank you. Federal law prohibits campaigns from soliciting anything of value from a foreign national. Yeah. So, got ties to Kremlin. You as a president, you should not do that. I don't even want to say his name. Like, I just want to say as the president. Mm-hmm. If Obama did any of this, they would have lynched him.
Oh, girl.
Come on.
No, it's true.
They would have. I know that's harsh words, and I know that's me bringing racism into it, but, like, he would have been crucified.
He totally would have.
The relationship between the Trump team and the Russian national raises questions about whether his campaign aided hostile foreign powers' active operation against the United States, which I think they ended up finding out that they actually did, didn't they? I think they did. Russians basically wanted Trump in power.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
And it was proved, like, they even, like, used Facebook to manipulate people with fake news. And they also infiltrated Tumblr. And
Mark Zuckerberg had to go before the Senate.
He did.
Yeah.
And he sat on that briefcase like a fucking alien lizard person.
He looked dead. He was so freaked out.
Christopher and I were talking about this.
It was terrible. I felt really bad for him. That empath thing took over.
Poor little rich boy.
It's third party embarrassment. Like, it's hard. Anyway.
Well, did you see he said if Elizabeth Warren gets elected, they're suing? Because she wants to break up large tech companies.
I'm okay with that.
So Facebook, Google, Apple, all would be broken up.
I'm okay with that.
And he said we would sue. And I said, fucking sue then.
Yeah, sue.
Fuck you.
Sue. You can't have a monopoly. And sir, Facebook is dying. Go to sleep. Yeah. It's not really a thing. It's not.
I don't use. Well, moms use Facebook like a motherfucker.
Well, it's my generation.
That's not your generation.
Mm-hmm.
You're a millennial girl.
But I am a millennial, but I'm on that cusp. I literally had to send in an email with my college. This is when he was trying to, like, outbeat the twins or whatever, and you had to be a part of a university to get a Facebook invite. That's how I got on Facebook. So you can call me a millennial, but I am an old ass millennial.
No. But what I'm talking about is, you said it's my generation.
It is my generation.
It's the generation older than you that are really into Facebook right now. It's
right,
older
but
blondes.
my generation started the obsession with
that's
Facebook.
When it started. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And then your generation is what got, like, close to your generation is what got Instagram going.
Yes.
Because I'm an Instagram girl now, but I don't socialize on it.
I'm not huge on Instagram. I just use it.
I watch, like, nail tutorials, makeup tutorials.
I just look at half-naked men. I'm going to be honest.
Hear that. I'm going to start following those pages, too. I follow my favorite drag queens and kings in the Southeast now.
Work.
So, advocating political and police violence. This one's very important to me. The president gave cover to neo-Nazis who rioted in Charlottesville and murdered a protester. When he did that, he violated the obligation to protect citizenry against domestic violence. Here's the thing. It should have been covered in a way that they weren't slightly glorified.
Right.
And when a murder happened, he should have brought down the hammer, and he didn't. He acted like nothing happened.
He hemmed and hawed, and he refused to say that the white supremacists were in the wrong. He said there were bad people on both sides. I was like, fuck you. They're literal neo-Nazis.
And
like, what the fuck do you want?
To try and cover for it, he said that he encouraged police officers to rough up people they have under arrest. He violated his obligation to oversee faithful execution of the laws. Can't do that. Police brutality is an issue. Basically, you cannot encourage the people who are supposed to uphold the safety of our nation to rough up whoever they have in custody. You have to figure that a percentage of those people are at least innocent. And then on top of that, even though you've been arrested, you still have rights.
Absolutely.
And so you shouldn't encourage that. Like, violence shouldn't be encouraged, period.
And this isn't a police state. Like,
right. But he did.
We're innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly.
You cannot be the judge, jury, and executioner and fuck up these people.
Right. So he tried to put it off on the police. It was like, fuck up anyone you have in custody. It's like, sir, Anyway. The president shared an anti-Muslim content on Twitter. He violated his obligation to uphold equal protection of all the laws. Muslim Americans and even Muslim immigrants have the same rights as everyone else when they're in this country. Please don't forget that we're all humans. We're all humans.
And he's done a very big job in dehumanizing minorities.
Really has. And all of these represent a pattern of disregard for some of the basic, like, responsibilities outlined by the Constitution. That's why we have a Constitution. We can talk about his abuse of power. We can do it kind of quickly. He pardoned Joe
Appirio.
Thank you. I can't say his name. Amounted to an abuse of pardon power that revealed his indifference to individual rights and equal protections. Joe Appirio was convicted for contempt of court after ignoring a court order that he had to stop detaining and searching people based on the color of their skin, which is a constitutional violation.
Exactly.
The conviction goes against the Fifth Amendment, which allows the judiciary to issue and enforce injunctions against government officials who fought individual rights. He has done number 6. What is this? Who's calling me? I don't know. He's engaging in reckless conduct. High-ranking administration officials involved in foreign affairs have signaled that Trump does not have the capacity to make informed decisions in the event of a military crisis. We've talked about this. Mara and I come from military backgrounds. While we don't agree with everything the military does, I feel like you should have some sort of military knowledge going into the presidency, or you need someone that you're going to listen to.
Yes, as an advisor.
Someone that you trust that is a really good advisor that has the best interests of the military and our nation by your side.
He had one, and he recently quit in protest.
Yeah.
So, because he was a very well-respected general.
Yes.
And then he pissed him off, and now he's fucking pulling out of Syria.
Right.
I can't. Even Fox News got pissed about that.
Oh, yeah.
And Fox News is up his ass so far. Like, they're finding fucking, like Christmas presents. They're so hard up there.
I was watching Fox News at the clinic I went to. They were talking about the upcoming impeachment. And they were like, we're starting to think Democrats have a leg to stand on. It was whatever show was on at 9:30 to 11 o'clock.
Fox and Friends? Was that Fox and Friends?
So.
Oh my God, that's his shit.
And they were like, you should keep talking, Mr. President. You're showing the Democrats that they have a leg to stand on. And it wasn't poking fun. It was almost like...
Well, he specifically watches Fox and Friends. They talk directly to him.
Well, I hope that he listened. Well, no, I don't. Keep talking, Trump. Keep talking, Trump.
Act the fool, girl.
Go off. So all of these show that he basically makes decisions or has confrontations stemming from understanding or miscalculation. It's not a good quality in a president. the president tweets. I'm not saying the president shouldn't tweet, but like maybe your tweet should be about.
But he's
people.
Also coming for private citizens on the presidential Twitter.
Take a note, Chrissy Teigen.
But she's going to be forever like archived in the Library of Congress.
But also, he makes scary comments about Korea.
He does.
That's not okay.
He makes a lot of comments about a lot of shit that you should not be saying. Like, you shouldn't be playing fast and loose with like public or with international intel like this.
Yeah, so
it's very scary.
All of those things definitely fall under, and what is it, engaging of reckless conduct? I would say that's reckless.
He's destroyed our reputation. Like, Europe doesn't.
They already didn't fuck with us, but now they.
Well, they did because of Obama. They really loved Obama. They trusted Obama. They he really mended a lot of things that Bush fucked up.
Yeah.
And then this guy came.
I mean, whatever. He's an orange Cheeto.
Fuck him.
Anyway, the president has repeatedly pressured the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate and prosecute political adversaries like Hillary Clinton. Don't come for Hillary.
No, because of all this impeachment shit.
Hillary.
Because of this impeachment shit, they are actually opening up the Hillary Clinton investigation again into her emails. Yeah. Even though his fucking daughter was doing the same fucking thing after all this happened.
I say bring it. Let them all implode. I'm serious. You can't... She's not the president. I'm sorry. She should be. But she's not. You're the one in charge of the country, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So it has concerns with national security, law enforcement, any other function in his office. It's just a power play.
It is, but it's also the sign of a dictator. A dictator uses his power to punish his political rivals who are speaking out against him, and that's fucking dangerous. That's where... like, our democracy slips away and becomes something else, and we don't want that.
Agreed. Attacking the free press.
Oh my God, his relationship with the press is heinous.
Mario was like, "No, Jessica, you do it. Look at you go. Look at you go. No, get in there."
No, he's really trying to discredit the press, and
Mario's turning pink, guys.
Am I?
You are.
I'm Native American. I turn pink all the time.
No, you do this when you get
passionate.
This is Trump pink.
I'm just a very passionate girl. Okay.
So he has repeatedly attacked the concept of an independent press. We've got the fake news. He clearly
tries to censor.
He tries to censor. He clearly is an advocate of only Fox News. And it's fine to have your personal preferences, but as a president...
But Fox News is not news. They're political commentary.
Even let's say Fox News is news. As a president, you should not be openly biased, right? Hide your shit.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm just saying, because even if you were president right now, you couldn't be like, fuck Fox News.
I'm having dinner with Rachel Maddow. No.
Oh my God, I love her. She's one of my women.
I love Rachel, but
she's one of my women.
I was I felt really betrayed with her after the election because I was listening to her podcast because every episode of Rachel Maddow is turned into a podcast that you can listen to. I don't watch television, so
I do listen to her.
And so I listened to her podcast forever, and then she was, Hillary's got this. Here's all these things showing Hillary's got this. And I believed her. I trusted her. And I understand it's not just her, but at the same time, she had an obligation.
But you know that something shady happened, right? And he got elected shadily. Like, there's enough evidence to show that.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
Because, like, there were a lot of the Young Turks, who I do not watch because I don't like to feel like I'm getting yelled at. Yeah. But the Young Turks, which is a very left-leaning news source that's based out of YouTube, they were saying, no, look at these specific polls. These specific polls in Iowa and all these other battleground states show that she is not leading. She is not going to win this. My friend was saying this the whole time, and she lied and said she voted for Jill Stein, but she actually voted for Hillary Clinton, and she just couldn't tell me because she knew how much I was a big supporter of him, and she was a big Bernie stan, and she was mad when he lost, and she said, I'll never vote for her.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that when you're voting, guys.
She voted for him, though. Or she voted for Hillary, though.
You really fuck up the curve there. I believe that Trump got votes shadily. I don't know what it is, and I can't say what it is. I believe the Russians were involved. I don't know that every vote he got was his. I just think about House of Cards, and I keep that in the back of my brain all the time. Because there were some polls showing that Hillary was ahead, and there were some showing that he was ahead. I understand maybe it was a toss-up. I don't know. I feel betrayed by that election. It's not Rachel Maddow's fault.
I understand that, but Rachel was the face of that for me. And I don't blame Rachel, but I can't go back.
She needs your support.
Why?
Because she is a great voice.
She is. No, she isn't. She's the number one cable news show now. Now that Bill O'Reilly's dead. Or not dead. His show's dead. I'm sorry.
But she's responsible.
Speak it to power. No.
She's responsible with her reporting.
No, she totally is.
She deserves our support.
She was on RuPaul's Drag Race.
She's a woman. You have vaginas.
No, I love Rachel Maddow.
Stop
I just
listening to her again.
Maybe
it's
I will.
not her fault.
I know it's not her fault, but I just felt betrayed.
I understand.
But of course, I felt betrayed by the whole thing. I just took it out on her, I guess.
Don't take it out on her.
But also, it's just like I also stopped listening to everything political.
Yeah.
At that point. So I was like,
I'm
no.
with you on that.
Like, I was listening to, like, the what is it? The NPR one. Like, all this. I don't know.
So all of those are kind of light. Maybe we can't really pin him on it. So the last two are my big ones. Violating immigrants' right to due process.
Mm-hmm.
He has a new zero tolerance policy. His administration separated as many 3,000 immigrant children from their parents at the southern border. This policy was meant to deter families from attempting to cross the border. When you swing that hammer and you end up looking cruel, you need to rethink your policies.
They're literally in concentration camps.
They are. The children and their families have been held in internment concentration camps and cages. It's been outlined as inhumane conditions. Because of his negligence, he basically said he has no plan to reunite children with their families.
Some kids have been adopted. He has deported a lot of parents. Children are still here in inhumane conditions. You wouldn't want that for your child. I'm just saying Mario hates that argument, but it's a reality. And children are dying of, like, the flu and stuff.
If you can't empathize, if you can't sympathize, try to empathize.
Yeah. Imagine if it was yours. Exactly.
Imagine if it was you. Like, imagine one day, all the non-white people in the world woke up and were like, fuck it, we're done. And you're the one sitting in that cage with your children. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't even be able to handle yourself. So I'm just saying, empathize if you can't sympathize. Donald Trump, so the last one is violating campaign finance laws. This is where I feel like my theories are correct. Donald Trump new disclosure of his
all the way to the top.
All the way to the top. His extramarital affairs with Stephanie Clifford, a.k.a. Stormy Daniels, and Karen McDougal could hurt his chances at winning the election. He did pay them off. Cannot do that.
Through his lawyer. Michael Cohen.
Admitted. Yeah, he admitted to giving them hush money. Mm-hmm. That's, like, you can't do that, guys. Like,
that's fucking illegal.
It's fucking illegal. You might as well just be like Bill, deny.
And then also the owner of
have sexual.
I got my dick sucked, y'all. Could you imagine if you just came? I got my dick sucked, y'all.
I still love Bill.
I do too. Well, I don't know if I do. If he did some of this shitty shit.
After the whole...
This Jeffrey Epstein shit?
Yeah, the Jeffrey Epstein shit made me...
I'm cautious, and
I kind of feel like...
As long as Barry didn't do anything, I'm good.
Okay, ready?
Oh, God.
My brain. We're having a what's his name? Michael Crichton moment. The author, John Grisham.
Oh.
We're having the guys, this is all fiction. This is my brain.
Brain blast.
I make up stories in my head all the time. What if Hillary cornered him into Epstein so that she could be run for fucking office, so that I can run for fucking office, and he just couldn't keep his dick in his pants while he was in office? Like, what if Monica Lewinsky knows fucking Jeffrey Epstein? I know she was it starts with an I.
Intern?
An intern. But she didn't do anything else political with her life. She designed a couple handbags.
Because of the drawback, nobody would hire her. She was the joke.
I think Epstein shut her down. I am so deep in my Epstein hole.
Girl.
I'm tying him back to everything. It goes all the way to fucking top.
He's the Zodiac killer too, y'all. No.
No, I'm just kidding.
Stop.
I think there's a better chance of Ed Edwards being the Zodiac killer.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's a strong possibility.
See, I haven't gotten to that part of the podcast yet.
So good.
Spoilers.
He apparently is obsessed with him. His family used to watch... We'll get into this in the podcast. He used to make his family watch everything about the Zodiac Killer. He would say, oh, no, that's not how it happened. So they think he either knew who the Zodiac Killer was or he actually was the Zodiac Killer.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm excited to keep
listening.
And
the Happy Face Killer is more fucked up than Ed Edwards. He tried to kill his family multiple times. And they didn't realize it until they were older and figured it out.
What? How do you not realize somebody's trying to fucking kill you?
Because it was like a random fire. Or like he cleaned fish at a campsite and then slept in the car while his wife and baby slept with like in a room with a leather latch keeping bears from getting in. And like it's all this weird stuff that they're figuring out now. It's such a good podcast.
What the fuck?
So good. It's called The Happy Face Killer.
Did he have a happy face?
I think he used to sign his stuff with like a fucked up happy face. He used to graffiti it, or he would like take He would sign confessions on, like, bathroom stalls at truck stops, and it'd be, like, a fucked up happy face on there.
That's fucked up.
It's really creepy.
Sorry.
So those are the 10 ways that Trump, Mr. President, has violated constitutional rights. And even if I could pretend to ignore the first 8, number 9 and 10 are pretty...
inexcusable.
Yeah, they're pretty inexcusable. He painted himself in a box. Again, all this information came from... Where is it? Do you have it up? Hold on. Came from www.needtoimpeach.com. There is more information on there. I gave a quick synopsis of everything, but just make sure you're aware of both sides of everything. And I know Trump is a businessman and kind of he's kind of the cowboy, and a lot of people respect that about him, and I get it. I understand that. There is something to be admired about people like Trump and Hitler and Mussolini. They controlled the masses. Just remember that they also did really fucked up things. And when people write about these people going back in history, they don't talk about how smart they were or how business savvy they were.
Or how they convinced people to accept these terrible actions.
Right. They just talk about how they fucked up an entire generation of people.
Yeah.
So just keep those things in mind. Try to have an open mind about it, because I haven't benefited from his presidency.
I did once.
Why?
When he... did that thing to where all those companies gave that that bonus at the beginning of the year. They gave that $500 bonus.
I thought that was Bush.
No, that was him.
I didn't get a bonus.
You weren't working there at that time. You started working in like February, right? This was January.
Daniel didn't get that bonus.
He did. Everybody who works for our company got that bonus.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he stimulated the economy. That's good. And I have wanted to look into something, because people are saying that our economy is doing a lot better with him, but like that's actually the upswing of behind Obama.
Yeah, a lot of the things going on.
I'm going to look into that more.
We're in a fucking trade war with China.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good for our economy.
Agreed.
But
I'm going to look into it more, because I hear things like that and I go, well, I don't know enough about that. Let me read about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be looking at Fox, CNN, MSNBC, and then I'll call up Rachel Maddow. Mario, would you like to take us into the Ukraine situation?
Sure.
Show me a Ukraine.
So I really like Ukraine. There was this one fashion designer from Project Runway that was on it. She did really cool things, but she didn't win, unfortunately. There we go. Have a great day. Bye. No. I'm joking. So with Ukraine, President Zelensky is the president of Ukraine. And allegedly, Trump is withholding military aid against Russia to Ukraine in order to pressure the Ukrainian president to investigate what happened with the 2016 election, but also to dig up dirt on Joe Biden and Joe Biden's son, Hunter.
Can I say something really quick while we're here?
Sure.
His name, I don't remember his name, but the guy that like blew up everybody about the college entrance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the one family was pissed because they couldn't get the kid in. So they turned him in, and he turned around and dropped everybody's name that had given him money.
Right.
I have a feeling that's going to happen.
You think Zelensky's going to turn everything in, or?
I think Trump reaching out to Ukraine to bring up shit about Hillary, bring up shit about Biden. I think he's trying to put everyone on blast. I think he's like, if I'm going down, you're going down. Because I do think...
You think Trump's doing that?
Yes.
I do too. No, the New York Times wrote an article about that. I didn't get a chance to read it, but
I think Hillary probably did some sneaky, savvy shit, because she is a boss-ass bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have done it, Hillary, if you did, though. Anyway, I'm just saying, I think that's what's going to happen. I think a lot of shit is going to come out, and hopefully there'll be a revamping of politics. And go.
Okay, sorry. So a whistleblower came forward and pretty much said, hey, this shit's going on. You need to look into it. And wrote a really long report. And initially, they were very reluctant to release the report. They would only... Well, Trump's like, oh, we could just release a transcript. We could release a transcript of the call. That's fine. It'll prove everything. They released a transcript. It had damning evidence. So, like, no, we want the fucking thing. We want the fucking report. So they got the report. And it turns out they've been hiding his phone calls to Saudi Arabia, Russia, and the Ukraine on a separate server that's like classified, so it's very hard to get. So that's why it took a minute for them to release the transcripts of everything, because they're moving it away because they don't want it easily found where people could say, okay, he's doing something shady. But he came forward and said, hey, all this is going on. On Friday, a second whistleblower came out to corroborate some of this allegedly.
Thank you, whistleblower.
That whistleblower's report has not come out, but it is supposedly in similar regard to what's going on with the Ukraine. So I'm excited to see where that's going. But also text messages between the United States envoy to Ukraine and the President Zelensky's aides show that there was a discussion. They were laying down the expectations of what was going to happen. And he was encouraging Zelensky's aide to encourage Zelensky to investigate Biden and to investigate the election in exchange for this. And they're trying to prove, or Trump's trying to say a quid pro quo isn't going on, which is pretty much you scratch my back, I scratch yours, which is illegal. You can't fucking do that politically.
Like you can't do it, period. Like you can't do it in business. You can't, period.
But we're convinced it's happening. I'm convinced it's happening just based off the shit we're hearing.
Why would he want to investigate the 2016 election?
Exactly.
Why? You won. So, and he doesn't make these decisions. Like, you have people, I know that you have people going, hey, PT, President Trump, you probably shouldn't talk about these things. And he's like, whatever, the public is wrong, he needs to know, you're fired.
I don't know if he has people around him at this point.
I think everyone that's sane has left him. But he was listening to them when they were there.
Yes, but at least he had somebody telling him, and he may have been more reserved. But now all of those people are gone. Half of his cabinet is empty.
I think he's losing.
I think so too. I think this is the beginning of the end for him. Like, I think he's having a meltdown.
Because you have to have some sort of political background to lead the country.
Like, allegedly, there were reports when it was first announced, because this all led up to Nancy Pelosi finally getting off her fucking ass and I'm passionate about this shit.
I know.
She's giving me a look.
No, you're so cute when you get like this. This is why we called it I'm very passionate. It's so funny because Mario's fine, and then he reaches a moment where he's like, you're gonna fucking listen. And I'm like, yes sir, I'm listening.
So Nancy got off. Oh god. Oh my god, I'm embarrassed.
Oh my god, Mario, how are we friends?
Anyway.
Before my husband left, I said Big Daddy.
I know.
Like, don't. Okay,
I'm joking. I'm totally joking. Okay, I'm not really embarrassed.
I was like, I embarrassed Mario.
No. So
I didn't show you my mutant vagina.
I was never the same again. The first time I ever saw one. That's the only vagina I've ever seen up close like that.
You should relive it like properly and see what it really looks like. I mean, I'm not offering mine.
I'm good.
Is it icky to you?
No, it's just I have no desire.
Yeah, I get it.
Like it's nothing. Like it's just like. I'm sure people like hike or mountain climb without ropes, but I just have no interest, you know? Like, you do you, potentially die. Not comparing vaginas to death by any means, but like...
Vaginas, hooray!
Hooray. But it's just not, it's not for me, you know?
I understand.
It's not for me, but...
That's not what they all look like.
I'm sure. I don't think all vaginas look like that. She outright said this is a mutant vagina. So, like...
Get back to our mutant Ukraine. We're so off topic.
We really are. Too many Vagangents.
That's the name of the episode.
Vagangents or too many Vagangents?
Too many Vagangents.
Okay, I'm down. Let me update the docket because I'll forget that.
Wait. Mario's been killing it with the name titles, guys. Like,
I've been
every
trying.
time he uploads, I just laugh hysterically because they're all so funny.
But anyway, so Nancy got off her ass. No. It's like, okay, fine, we're going to do an impeachment inquiry. It literally took, I think, 218 Democratic members of Congress to say, look, you need to fucking do something. Yeah. And so finally she did. And she's...
something on her.
You think?
Yeah. I don't... There's nothing upstanding about him. I wouldn't put it past him.
Wait, you think Trump has something on Nancy?
Mm-hmm. I think Trump has something on a lot of people.
Maybe.
He was fucking around with Jeffrey Epstein.
True.
If we're saying that you guys were colleagues, business deal is why you don't talk. Most of the time, you're similar to your friends, or you're using the person for something. I'm telling you, I'm in an Epstein hole at all times. I think Epstein was the actual president. I think he is in a Trump suit. No, I really don't, guys.
I'm like, what the fuck's going on right now?
No, I just there's something going on there. Yeah, there's something going on there. You can't ignore it.
No. When's part 2 coming up?
I don't know. I'm waiting for the court case, and then I'm going to talk about all the victims.
Okay. So anyway, Nancy's finally doing something. They're doing an investigation. They're subpoenaing people. They've subpoenaed, I think today they subpoenaed the Pentagon and a couple of NSA people to get more information on what's going on, the communications between our countries, and what's being communicated, what the directives are to diplomats of what they should be saying, what they should be pushing for.
Which we should be doing.
Absolutely.
So keep us safe.
But also the fact that these things with Saudi Arabia and Russia are also coming to light. Yeah. They're also going to try and get those, I believe, those transcripts to see what was talked about at those points.
And it should. And it should be released to the public. We have a right to know.
Right. And so I'm excited. I'm not trying to get too excited because I just want him to be fucking embarrassed. Like, even if he doesn't get impeached, I want all his laundry out there. I want him to suffer.
Capable. I don't think he will. I don't think he's capable. Oh. The things that you're talking about like a normal person. I don't think he's a normal person.
I don't know, because we got distracted with a Vagangent. And when it was first reported that this was happening, that they're doing an impeachment inquiry, there were reports that he was so stressed and freaked out he could barely speak and walk.
But I think that's because he's scared of what's going to happen to him. I don't think he's embarrassed.
Potentially. No. But I mean, fear for yourself.
Are you sorry because you're sorry, or are you sorry because you're getting caught?
I think it's that.
I don't think he's going to
He sees the writing on the wall?
Yeah, I think it's all coming down on him.
It's all coming back to him now.
In a bad way. And I don't think he has the capability of being embarrassed. And I think, what's her name is Melania is going to leave him.
Fingers crossed.
I think she's going to back out slowly. Like, where's the doorknob?
Favorite
Carter reference. But I think she's just going to, oh.
You're in a cult. Call your dad.
You're in a cult. Call your dad. Yeah. So I think that's what's going to happen.
But I did add in here the Mitch Turtleface McConnell, who's currently... It's in the docket. It has to be read.
I love your face.
I fucking hate him.
I know.
He's the Senate Majority Leader.
He literally wrote turtle face.
He looks like a fucking turtle. He was offended on Mitch McConnell's behalf. Sorry.
Go ahead.
So he's vowing to stop the impeachment removal from office at all costs. So
why turtle face? What have you got to hide?
I feel like he's got something to hide.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like they're all doing something illegal. And then I think... Was it Mitt Romney Mitt Romney's the one as well.
I love that he calls him Mittens.
I've called him Mittens since like 2008.
No,
literally 11 years.
The first time he called him Mittens and I didn't know the reference, I was like, who? Mitt Romney. I was like, how's a bitch supposed to know that?
That was like his name in the community, girl. Like,
I'm not. I mean, I love the community, but I'm not like often affiliated with them.
But anyway, Mittens called him out, and he called Mittens a pompous ass, so like he's out of the graces, because like they were kind of buddying up for a minute there, and now he's like fuck him. So I think
they're all going down.
I hope so. Everybody. I really hope so.
But
could you imagine
Biden and the Clintons down too?
Maybe.
But I think if he goes down, they're all going down.
I think so too. Like the New York Times wrote an article. I still meant to read it. I just had to go back to work for my lunch break.
Called?
If Trump goes down, he's taking everybody with him, I think it is.
Okay.
It's by the New York Times. I'm pretty sure it's free to read. But I'm going to check it out. If it's interesting, I'll have commentary on it next week.
Yep, and I will link it. I found it, so I will definitely link it. Let me save it.
But anyway, so we'll link that article somewhere. I think Jessica's redoing our website, or
I'll be working on it.
She's working on it.
I'm not giving an end date, but I'm working on it.
There's no ETA right now, guys, but it's happening. It's
I need
happening.
to figure out what I want it to look like first. We may redo the logo.
I'm down.
The background color, I think. I don't know. I have to think about it.
I still have the files. I can change colors or the entire thing.
No, I want to look into it some more.
Just let me know what you need. We can get together on a day.
Yeah, we have to go to dinner or something.
I'm down.
Bring the iPad. Anyway, guys, we were going to do advice column takeover.
Oh, shit.
But I think we're just going to say our advice is read the news.
Read the news, absolutely.
Replace Trump's name with, I don't know, maybe somebody you hate. See if you still feel the same way about him.
Mm-hmm.
Remember to empathize if you can't sympathize. It's important. Yeah. You'd want someone to do it for you, so you'd have to do it back.
Yeah.
Because what you put out into the universe is what you receive.
Yeah.
Do you have a fucking hooray, or what are we calling it?
The ray of light.
Do you have a happy moment?
It's
you have a ray of light? Yes, Madonna moment. Do you have a ray of light?
Do I have a ray of light? I feel like we talked about it with the Mariah Taylor recognition.
That's my total ray of light.
She was like literally dying. Like,
I could not breathe.
Her happiness made me happy.
Oh my God, it's just their energy.
I have a ray of light. I just can't really talk about it on here.
Is it what we talked about in my kitchen before?
Yeah, but
just know that Mario's having a salty moment. Mario's ray of lights are all petty.
They
are.
Not all. Not all.
65%. 65%.
No. I might help Christopher brew cider for his wedding.
Oh, that's sweet.
He brews. He's like a brewer. Aw, it's a boomerang.
Yeah, but that's the bartender.
Right. Yeah, that's Luis.
Yeah.
We're looking at your guys' Instagram. Hi, Cantina Rainbow, if you're listening.
Oh my god, if you listen, I'm such a fangirl. I told Mario the next Finer Things. For those of you who are new, Mario and I have a club. With just like a group of people, we try to get out and experience new things in Columbus. I know maybe this is your first episode. Hi, how are you? You picked a fucking good episode. But the last time we went to the drag show it was a small group of us. I told Mario I want to go back with like the full Finer Things gambit.
Yeah, and have a good ass time.
And they had a lot of people there Friday night.
Did they?
Oh yeah, it was packed.
That's great.
It had way more people than when we went.
Wow.
Yeah. It was good. Like, I don't think any seats were open.
Wow.
Yeah,
we're going to have to reserve again.
I'm super happy for that. No, I'll reserve. So I told Miss Mariah Taylor, I was like, when you are back in town, let me know. I'm coming. I can't wait to see you. I want to see Luis perform. Demare says he's amazing.
Yeah, no, she mentioned, like, specifically his makeup was gorgeous. And his performance was amazing. Like, I'm really excited to see.
His ass looks great and everything he wears. Jesus. My ass doesn't look that good.
Like I said, I am a drag snob, and like they've completely like impressed the fuck out of me, and I'm so excited to see more.
And I'm just impressed in general with Columbus. I'm very proud.
Drag Race UK started. You can watch it on Wow Percents Plus. I have a login if you want to use it and see it. It's fucking hilarious.
Are you talking to me? I thought you were talking to our listeners.
Well, and to everybody.
Like, damn, Mario.
Well, no. Sorry, guys. I can't share with you. I'm already sharing with Brooke, but I'll share with Jessica as well. But it's only $3.99 a month. Like, it's not terrible.
Because drag.
Are you going to start?
On Hulu.
Are you going to start?
I'm finishing up Sex in the City, and that's my next thing.
I've been watching All Stars 2 to get ready to talk about it with you. I'm already on episode 4.
Oh my god.
I'm obsessed.
So should I start with that one? Is that the one you want to talk about?
I wouldn't. I don't know.
Do you guys hear what I have to put up with?
Well, it's okay. All Stars 2 is the culmination.
But you told me not to watch All Stars 1.
No, yeah, I said don't watch All Stars 1.
But you said All Stars 2 was good.
All Stars 2 is the best season of RuPaul's Drag Race.
So I should start with that one?
No.
Okay.
Because it'll ruin the show for you. Because nothing lives up to All Stars 2. Like, there's some good-ass seasons. 4, 5, and 6 are hands down the best normal season.
All Stars 2, 4, 5, and 6?
I would watch 4, 5, 6, All Stars 2.
But you're excited to talk about All Stars 2.
Because I just wanted to watch it and it was available.
Okay.
But the thing with All Stars 2...
It's on Hulu, guys. That's to say that.
The thing with All Stars 2 is you kind of need to know a bit about Drag Race to understand some of the reference.
Watch 1.
I would not watch All Stars 1.
What season do I start with? I'm like so lost. Just tell me what to do.
I would not watch... If you're going to start watching, you don't need to watch RuPaul's Drag Race, or you don't need to watch season 1 of Drag Race.
Okay.
It's a good start. It's where everything began.
Like it, right?
It's 8 episodes. It's changed a lot.
Okay.
Season 2 is when the true format of Drag Race started to come to fruition. It has a lot of the most famous drag queens.
So start there?
Jujubee Raven. Yes. I'd do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 All Stars 2. Because... I know that's a lot.
So overwhelmed. Okay.
Well, the reason I say that is because All Stars 2 takes people from season 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6... and throws them into the gambit.
Okay.
And 7.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
And 7.
Yeah. Okay.
But 7 is the worst season of RuPaul's Drag Race. You do not have to watch it.
He loves you, RuPaul.
No. It's the Quinn. Everybody knows it's the worst season. There was not drama. The person who should have won did not win. No offense to you, Violet Chachki.
That's okay. Yeah. Okay.
Violet Chachki's beautiful. She's an amazing drag queen. But Katya should have won that season.
Yeah.
Katya Zamolodchikova.
I feel like I'm going to have drag queens living in my house.
You would love Katya. She's fucking crazy.
I'm going to watch it. I am. I'm finishing up Sex in the City because that is my go-to. When I get sick, I watch all the Bridget Joneses and I watch Sex in the City.
I thought you don't like rom-coms.
Bridget Jones is my shit, though.
It's trashy. It's a trashy rom-com.
It is a trashy rom-com. She's a smoker.
Did she ever find out who the father of her baby was?
Yeah, it's Colin Firth, whatever is it, Darcy.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Oh, spoiler alert.
I haven't seen any of them, so.
Oh my god, I love them. They're so trashy.
I'm not a fan of her. I love her in Chicago.
Chicago and Bridget Jones, that's all I can do.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, I'll take that back. She was amazing in Cold Mountain. Have you seen Cold Mountain?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't think she was amazing?
I don't like her.
Work.
But she's a wonderful British actress. Like, I cannot...
Oh, she's British?
No. She plays a British woman. And I find her so much more charming and relatable, and her face makes sense with a British accent.
I guess so.
I don't know why. It's so fucking good. I love it.
Did you ever see that Family Guy parody of her?
Yes.
Nancy?
I thought it looked just like her.
It did. And then, what is it? Roll to Me by Vidal Me or whatever the fucking song played?
Yes. I can't believe you've never seen a Bridget Jones.
My mom watched them all the time. I just never...
I love them.
I like Love Actually, but she's not in it.
No, I don't like Love Actually.
It's the only Blu-ray I own.
I find that movie so trashy, so good. It's the British reserved version of Sex and the City. It's basically Aiden and Big, is what it is. And then they killed off what's his name in the last one.
He didn't die.
He totally died.
He was not dead.
In the movie?
He came back at the end of the very end of the movie. He was alive.
No, not Bridget Jones'
You're talking
baby.
about Hugh Grant, right?
Yes.
He did not die.
He absolutely died.
I could have sworn he came back.
Absolutely not. He was dead. The end scene is what's his name? Patrick Dempsey, who I don't support.
Why?
Because of how he acted on Grey's Anatomy.
They killed off McDreamy.
Because Ellen Pompeo said, I'm not going to deal with your frat boy bullshit. Get off my fucking show. And Shonda Rhimes said, girl, vaginas hooray. And they killed
Ellen Pompeo did that?
Yeah. She's best friends with his wife. And he was cheating on his wife on the show with like a PA. And Ellen Pompeo found out, and she was like, you're done. I can no longer work with you.
What?
And Shonda Rhimes said, because it's called Grey's Anatomy, not McDreamy's Anatomy. And they killed that motherfucker off.
I did not know that's what happened.
He went off. Hugh Grant is not in Bridget Jones's Baby. You just told me you hadn't seen any of them.
I know, but I remember looking into it.
Arguing with me
because I remember thinking.
Watched it.
I know, but I remember thinking they killed Hugh Grant off, and then I remember looking it up.
It's like
I read the
first
Wikipedias.
scene.
But he's not dead. Like I'm pretty like what? Okay, Bridget Jones' Baby. What's his name?
Hugh Grant.
What's his character's name?
Oh, Daniel Cleaver.
All right. Later, a newspaper lying on the beach reveals that Daniel Cleaver had been found alive. That's the very last thing.
But he's
of the
not
movie.
in the movie.
But he's not dead.
Nobody paid attention to that.
He's alive, girl. It's canonical.
I wanted to know who the baby daddy was, and you find that out in the last movie.
Mm-hmm. But he's not dead.
Whatever.
I haven't even seen the fucking movie, and I knew this. No. She's flipping me off right now.
My mutant vagina to yours.
Thank you so much for joining us this week on this amazing Vagangent. My name.
Do not forget to like, rate, review, share. You can find us on all the major podcasts and even the obscure ones. And I'm very passionate podcast@gmail.com. Tell us you hate us. Tell us you love us.
Ask for advice. Ask funny situations.
Tell us you want us to talk less about drag queens and more about Michael B. Jordan. I don't know.
It's not going to happen, but...
No. Definitely not going to happen. You're not in charge of this show. Who are you talking to, motherfucker? Anyway.
You just opened it up and then shut it right down.
I sure did. That's what Hispanics do. We make you feel good. And
then we tear you down. Watch Undone on Amazon.
The podcast. Yo soy very passionate.
I'm Mario.
I'm Jessica.
And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.